Your life, your life, your life. Good morning, Wiser Peeps Nation. Good morning, Wiser Traders. Your life, your life, your life. Good morning. It's a new week. It's a new day. Another day to milk the markets. To milk the markets. Let's milk the markets. Your life. Let's share the link to friends, to families, to those that you know that are interested. Okay. It's pre-London live market analysis with ProFx and real life, 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 real life. Let's share the link, let's share the link, let's share the link. Um, this week we have a nice lineup of instruments to trade. Right, I'm expecting you to be bullish this week. Expecting you to be bullish this week based on our weekly CRT. Okay, we're going to give a breakdown because I believe we have some beginners in our midst. I'm going to have a bit of breakdown to make my tone not to sound too professional. So if you are a complete newbie in our midst, just signify. If you are a beginner, signify. So I'll not be speaking jargons. Yeah. If you can hear me, let me know, please. Last week was great. This week promises to be greater. Last week was great, and this week promises to be greater. So, just a quick recap for last week. For last week, um, we actually had a very good week. Yeah, good week. We had a very good week. So, what is pre-London live market analysis? Let me first define what the session is. So, because it said that when purpose is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. When purpose is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. So, what do we gather to do here? Every morning, 7 a.m., what do we do here every morning? So, this is called pre London live market analysis. Okay, it's called pre London for a reason. Now, there's a routine of the trader. Okay, if you are a day trader, if you are a day trader, that means you trade intraday. There is a routine that is non-negotiable, and that is your pre-session market analysis. As a day trader, as a day trader, there is a routine that is called pre-session market analysis. Okay, pre-session market analysis is a routine that you must imbibe. So what you are simply doing is before the session opens, you are coming to the market to identify key levels, liquidity zones, and all of that. Because it's as if you are going to the battleground, you must have sharpened your tools, you must have prepared and planned before getting into the battlefield. Yeah? So trading the session is like fighting the battle. You must be prepared before the battlefield. So what we do in pre-session market analysis is we simply prepare before the session opens, marking our key levels, marking our liquidity zones, marking the locations, mapping out structure. Then once we are in the market section, we are simply executing, executing, executing. It's not when the market opens that you start analyzing the market. No, you do that before the session opens. So what we do in pre-London is to provide valuable insights into key levels and locations where the footprints of the big boys have been laid. It's what is called footprints of the institutions. Footprints of the institutions. Before a buy or a sell will happen, the big boys will have laid a footprint. We call it institutional footprint. Write that down in the chat box, everybody. Institutional footprint. Institutional what? Footprint. Institutional footprint. Before a buy or sell will happen, there is always a footprint that the retail traders can go with. We have these footprints in gaps and in blocks generally. We have these footprints in gaps and in blocks. We have this footprint in gaps and in blocks. In gaps is called the fair value gap. In blocks is called the order block. We have the demand and the supply. So generally, the general concept of filling of blocks and gaps is for the footprint of the before any buy and sell, there will always be a print for the big boys to fill and continue, and they come in gaps and in blocks. In gaps, fair value gap. In blocks, order block, or at the best we call them the demand and the supply. You see that there's a candlestick, impulsive candle, boom. Once you see an impulsive candlestick or a series of impulsive candlestick, it means the big boys are in the market. They have entered the market, right? What we now do as retail traders, we drop down to lower time frame and see, and that's already a footprint. Okay, I'm giving you candle science strategy now. When you see candlestick impulsive on higher time frame, the big boys are in the market. If you check the origin, they have laid a footprint for you. In that range of candlestick, gaps and blocks have been laid down. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? When you see an impulsive candlestick or a series of candlesticks, at the origin, gaps and blocks have been laid down, waiting for a fill to continue that movement. I'm giving you a revelation. So, it's the footprint of the big boys. The market is not random. The market is designed in a logical way. If you are patient to wait for the footprints to form, patient to wait for the feeling of the footprints. Two things, write it down. Patience to wait for the footprints. Number two, patience to wait for the feeling of the footprints. So what's the footprint? Gaps and blocks. And if you now want to kill the market, now add CRT to your footprint. You have killed the market. You have killed the market. Yeah? We are going to see practical example in the market now. Patience to wait for the footprint to form. Patience to wait for the feeling of the footprint. Okay? Hold that one with your left hand. Now, let me show you a practical example. Practical example here. This is daily time frame. Yeah? On a daily time frame, let's look at this practical example. This candlestick, this in this candlestick series, we have gotten a footprint. Look at in form of a block. In this candlestick series, we have gotten a footprint. In form of a what? Am I not sharing my screen? Am I sharing my screen, guys? Okay. No. Okay. Yeah, I'll share my screen very short. Okay. I'm sharing my screen now. So confirm. It's about to be deliverance in the room. Glory to God. Someone type in glory. Someone type in glory to God. Glory to God. I'm about to liberate and wash. You know, as we always say, Wiser Pips is a eye cleansing center with a cleansed eye. With a cleansed eye for here. You're about to see the market clearly. Clearly. Clean and clear. According to my guy, Fresh Abino. Wait, there is a footprint and there is a feeling of the footprint. Two things. Look at this carefully. This series of candlestick is a sign that the big boys have entered the market. There needs to be a feeling of the footprint in gaps and in blocks. In this case, it was in block. So this was a block. This was a block. And the block here represented the supply zone. Supply or other block. Yeah, gotcha. Once you have that feeling into that block, your take profit target the external range liquidity. The leg that was the source of that feeling, that leg is where your target will be straight. No waste time, no waste time, no waste time, no waste time. And because 1 hour time frame, any time frame, any time frame, a bias, the big boys needs to tell us that they are ready or sell. The big boys needs to tell us that they are ready to buy or sell. Okay? And how they tell us they are ready is by what we call break of structure. These are basic things of market structure. These are basic market structure, basic market structure, basic market structure, basic market structure. For the big boys to tell us if they are ready to buy or sell, there needs to be a break of structure, a lower low or a higher high. Once that has been formed, okay, we wait a fill back into a gap or a block. Are we together? So this has happened now for what? The last week. Now, guess what? Another break of structure has happened. And we're about to fill into a gap or a block. So I'm currently already buying EU. I started buying EUSD early this morning. I dey hold this guy. This guy go buy. And according to our CLT, we are already in the weekly. I won't get there. Okay, let me just go to weekly. Since we are already in the vibe. Okay, if you're a beginner, just follow us. Okay, this is not where we come and this is not a class per se. This is simply a live market. So just follow us and flow. Our class begins tonight where we break down all the concepts. Now, weekly CRT for Euro USD. This is my candle range low. And guess what? I'm trusting CRT buy up until the candle range high. Okay? This candle range low and this is candle range high. So let's go back to our daily and see how it fits. Let's go back to our daily and see how it fits. Because now we are expecting a fill into a gap or a block. So let's go back to our daily time frame and see. Close now. Are we getting value? All right. That's breaking transmission. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Glitch of the internet. We're back. Are we together? Can we see the screen? We're back. We're back. We're back. Right? So I have this set up for Euro USD. And like I said, we have been buying already since early this morning. I'm going to send this to yeah, okay. So still loading. I need to my screen get a confirmation if you can see my screen. Can you see? 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 Yeah. So let's first do should we let's first do audio pairs, their directional bias before we go to the lower time frame. So this is for Euro USD. Let's check for GBP USD. GBP USD before we now go into the lower time frame. So what's the direction bias for GBP? What's the direction for GBP USD? What's the direction for GBP USD? So the same thing we saw on Euro USD, we had a break of structure, a pullback to the block, boom. We now have a new break of structure, expecting a pullback to a block again. So we are expecting a fill into this block on the daily time frame. G go buy like water. G go our weekly, like we did for Euro USD, weekly CLT. Let's see where the weekly high is going to be. Perfect. Can you see? We are perfectly on point. Yeah, that's the way CLT. Please, nobody should miss this week. Is money week. If you don't make this week money, this week is a money week. There are some weeks that the price action will be so clear. There are some weeks that the price action will be very annoying. So what do? Take advantage of the weeks where the price action is so clean and clear. Because markets will not always give you a clean structure move. Okay? The market will not always give you a clean structure move. So I beg you, when you see a clean structure move, take advantage of it. That's why you need to know your edge so well. You need to know your edge so well that you know when to strike and when to settle. All right? So from this weekly time frame, let's drop down to our daily time frame. So we have done weekly. We have seen that there is a clean bias to buy for the week. You're hearing it first from ProFx Radio that there is a clean bias for GU to buy for the week. There's a clean bias for GU to buy for the week. Also, there's a clean bias for EU to buy for the week. Very clean. So whatever you are doing this week, okay, whatever you are doing this week, our overall bias is to buy. So let's go to daily time frame. On our daily time frame, you can see clearly, and is GU loves taking liquidity. GU is fond of liquidity. So some places where EU will take out liquidity, GU will take out liquidity. Okay, so you have to be very careful with GU. GU is fond of taking out liquidity. But we gotta do. Where's my supply? My supply, my supply, my supply, my supply, my supply, my supply. Okay. So for my GU, there is a fair value gap between these three candles. Okay. But nevertheless, let's mark it down because GU can be so funny and recruit. Just be prepared. So guess what? My higher time frame are what? Weekly, daily, and 4 hours. Write that down in chat box. Higher time frame, weekly, daily, 4 hours. For a day trader to have your overall bias, you don't need monthly, right? Weekly will give you a price action that is very composed from a monthly chart. So weekly, daily, 4 hours. Write those time frame down in the chat box. Weekly, daily, 4 hours to do a proper top-down analysis. Okay, weekly, daily, 4 hours. Weekly, daily, 4 hours. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Weekly, daily, 4 hours. So have a proper top-down analysis as a day trader. Weekly, daily, 4 hours. Weekly, daily, 4 hours. Are we together? Weekly, daily, 4 hours. So have a proper top-down analysis. You don't need monthly time frame. Yeah, weekly, daily, 4 hours. Now on 4 hours is where you now put your tents. Look at the 4 hours now. So I'm seeing an order block or what we call a supply demand rather on this my 4 hours above this FVG. So I'll mark it too. Okay, so because GU might be very crazy, and I want to take out Asian low into this demand. So I will mark it too. Remember gaps and blocks. Always remember gaps and blocks. Gaps and blocks. The big boys will leave a footprint in the form of gaps and blocks. Write that down. The big boys leave their footprints in the form of gaps and blocks. The big boys leaves their footprints in the form of gaps and blocks. I'm giving you a masterclass for free. You never see this thing out there. Wallahi talai. The big boys print their footprint, give their footprints in the form of gaps and blocks because price will always fill those gaps and blocks for a continuation. Always, I mean always, 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 always. Price will always fill those gaps and blocks. Allow price to there. Don't worry yourself. Price might just ignore for a while, but you come back there later in the future day. So price might not want to get to this gap now, this demand now. It might play around and give an expansion, but will come back into the gap maybe Tuesday or so and not continue. So it will take out liquidity for Monday. So Monday might give you Funny enough, Monday might give you an accumulation of buy, right? But Tuesday, we come to sweep Monday's low, now enter this demand and now buy. So don't be deceived by Monday. Oh. Write that in chat box. Don't be deceived by Monday price action. Don't be deceived by Monday's price action. Don't be deceived by Monday. Tuesday or Wednesday is when the high or low of the week will be formed. A proper weekly range profile delivers by Tuesday or Wednesday. A proper weekly range profile delivers when? Tuesday or Wednesday. So Monday is most likely that accumulation phase. Now I'm on 1 hour now, right? So this is what I have on 1 hour. This is, can you see that this 1 hour, this is the origin of the break of structure? Yes or yes? That 4 hours, one candle that I marked has given us the origin of this break of structure. Can you see? That 4 hours, one candle that I marked has given us what? The origin of this break of structure. So it is wisdom to wait, in this case for GU, for probably price will come and take out Asian low into this demand. When price taps here, you wait on 15 minutes, 5 minutes for a shift in market structure. Then we target the gap again or the block again to now buy. We are always going to be using gaps and blocks. We are always going to be using gaps and blocks. Always. In our market structure shift also, we use the gap and the block. Yeah, thank you, Joshua. Don't be deceived by Monday price action. Thank you. Don't be deceived by Monday action. Always going to be gaps and blocks. So this is the same as the market. The market can just choose to continue buying. But a safe buy would be this. Let's go back to it and see what 1 hour is saying. Then we proceed to other markets. Let's go back to Euro USD. Euro USD. Are we learning something? So for Euro USD, you can see that Euro USD, we already tapped into the demand. This is why I love Euro USD. For EU, we already tapped into that demand. Can you see now the difference? GU never tap into demand, will cause that break of structure. So for Euro USD, we have already tapped into the demand, or we already tapped into the origin that caused this break of structure. Okay, so for EU, price will just come, price might still be in that range, price might not need to still come and take out again Asian low. I don't know, but that's just my bias, that price might not need to take out Asian low again. Okay, but let's see how price action will play out. All right, this is 4 hours for EU. For 4 hours for EU, price has already tapped into the block. Can you see? After the footprint has been created, what the price do? Price came to fill that block, and we are targeting what? In fact, our target should be this external self. Our target should be here, beyond our 4 hours candle range. Our target should be what? The external range liquidity. But let's be patient. My stop loss is already here, so I'm not worried. SL or Range Rover, SL or Lambo. So when London open, then go into BTC. So we are still on the same page. Can you see that GU is not ready yet? GU is not ready yet. Can you see? GU not ready, but EU is ready. So that is the difference between these pairs. So for me, I stick with EU. I trade EU. I don't trade. I don't like. So let's check out BTC. Please give me pairs you want us to analyze. Give me the pairs you want us to what analyze. So my eyes are on BTC this week. My eyes are on BTC. My eyes are on you. My eyes are on you. My eyes are on you. Okay. Now we are in the place that we are. So we predicted BTC daily CRT and it has played out. Can you see daily CRT for BTC has played out? So we had this CRT. What day was that? That was on Thursday to Friday, then to Monday. And we have smashed this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. CRT is king, oh, guys. CRT is king. In our mentorship, we are going to be dealing with CRT. Okay. All right. So we're going to have a CRT series this month also. So details will be shared across. So we saw this candle range on Thursday, swept by Friday, and our target was what? The candle range high or this other external what high, and it happened. So I'm going to save this and screenshot it in my journal. I will go and study it properly. I want to study this properly. From daily to 1 hour. Let me. I'll come there. I'll come there. I'll come there. But let me first finish with this. Let me see what 1 hour did. If there was an opportunity. Okay. After the sweep, we had a break. Now, watch this carefully. After price swept Thursday's low into Friday, price came towards displaced back into the range. I'm not showing my screen. So for BTC charts, please confirm my screen is being shared. For BTC charts, price manipulated the low of Thursday, okay, and displaced back into the range. So this is the pattern. Guys, watch this carefully. This is there's going to be a manipulation and a displacement. So, for example, this might be previous day low. That is Tuesday. Sorry, Thursday in this case. Thursday, yeah, Thursday low. Then this would be Thursday's. Oh, sorry. So Thursday low and Thursday high. So price will manipulate, we sweep the previous day low and displace back into the range. That's what happened here on BTC. Okay. So what price did was this sell you saw here on 1 hour, this 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up until 1 of Friday, manipulated, and we now displaced back into the daily range. Okay. Now let me now expand and see our entry confirmation here. This is how I backtest and I journal though. After a displacement, that means after price has come back, I can use my CIT. Okay, what do I mean by that? Look at, okay, we're live, and I'm sharing my screen. So I believe I'm sharing my screen now. So this is what we have on the daily time frame. On BTC, you saw price manipulating the previous day's low into even the 100k bank level. So our two key levels that was used, our 100k bank level and previous day's low was being swept. I have targeted on the candle range high. So let me go back to let's see. Oh, our take profits. Okay. All right. So this is what we have here. Very nice price action. I love this. I love this. Yeah, I love this movement. Very clean. It went to use, so from the angle of our Asian range, it came to the this week because we understand we also saw that playing out. So overall, there was this higher time frame week that will have resulted to a lower time frame block. Also, so that's also a demand. So everything was just marinating. They marinate, they pepper, they saturate. Yeah. So this has delivered already. This has delivered already. So we need to now look out for the next movement. So I'm looking forward to sell BTC. Okay. Looking forward to sell BTC. I'm looking forward for a drop. I'm looking forward to a drop on BTC. So I'm going to be patient with that. So let me take off this. Let me take off this. Let me take off this. We are currently in the what? In the block. We are currently in the what? In the block. So we are still bearish on BTC until further notice. I still expect this guy to be filled. This guy. So I'm expecting to sell, and this time I'm selling BTC to 98,000. Okay, or at best, I'm selling BTC to this my target, my external range liquidity. That's at 98. Yeah, still 98. What price is this? 98,990. Yeah, that's my target. So once I see a confirmation for a sell on BTC, I'm selling into this target. Yep. So I need to have a confirmation here to short BTC. Yeah, that's my plan. So BTC does not have anything much to do. Let's see if there's any expo on the weekly time frame. Do we have any expo on the weekly time frame? Any expo, any expo, any expo, any expo. Um, be that we are going to use our CIT on this weekly time frame. Our expo here, because this is what I'm targeting this demand. Yeah, I'm targeting this demand on weekly. So our expo will be that this is the level that price wants to use. So if you check carefully, 0.75 is the next key level. Okay, 0.75 is the next key level. I think it's in line with the other block. So I come back to my 4 hours and see where that. Like I said, it's fun. It's fun to analyze the markets. It's fun to analyze the market. So you can see that we are in the same page. We are on the same page for BTC. Our gang box key level, okay, is giving us that we are currently in the range of 0.75 and 0.5. Okay, we are currently in the other block in between the range. If market wants to do anyhow, it will come and use 0.75. If market is very, very stubborn, it comes and use the next block and gap, which is what? This fine. Any which way, I ready. BTC is selling for the week. I am ready for this guy this week. So my eyes are on Euro USD and BTC majorly. Majorly. My eyes are on Euro USD and what? BRC. Okay? So what pairs do you want to analyze? What pairs do you want us to analyze? Let's go. What pairs do you want us? Let's do gold. Let's do gold. So we can see that we said yesterday, or we said on Friday, that if we are trading above the previous week close, where are we targeting? The previous week high. Like I said, our price currently heading there. This is candlestick science. We gave this breakdown on Friday. If if price is trading above the previous week close, the price is headed. So we are bullish for gold today. We just need to put ourselves in the right location to buy. So we are bullish for gold. Gold will target previous week high first. 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 It happened today. We have done DPO. We have done. Is it GJ or GU? Because we have done GU. Do you mean GJ or GU? Maybe you came late. Do you mean GJ or GU? Which one do you mean? Let's do both. Let's start analysis. he saw that on the weekly time frame, we are currently forming. Okay, we have done G already. Um, okay, okay. Let's go back to G. But we've done G already. Okay, let's quickly check out G. GBP, GU and EU has similar price action. Just that I said that GU for EU is currently respecting the demand of 4 hours, but GU has not. We are currently respecting what we call our weekly CRT. That means, let me hide this guy. What I mean is that look at this candlestick very carefully. For GU, and has been displaced back into the range. This is GU. Last week candlestick, no, last 2 weeks was bearish. Last week we have what we call the, okay, let me not say it. What candlestick is this, guys? Is this? You get this, I will give you. Oh, now. Oh, I get this. What candlestick is this? This particular candlestick. What candlestick is this? And what does it represent? You tell me what candlestick this is, and tell me what this candlestick represents as an implication. What candlestick is that? And what candlestick does it represent as an implication? I'm waiting for answers. Amma, nice one, nice one, nice one. And what does Amma represent in the scheme, in the price action? What does that Amma represent? What does the candlestick there represent? What does that Amma represent? Represent buyer dominance. Yeah, I get you. But I'm expecting a particular word. Based on this candlestick, I'm expecting a particular word. Reversal pattern. Reversal pattern. That's what I'm expecting to hear. Reversal pattern. Because what this has given us as a psychology is that this sellers is about to be reversed into buying. So it's a reversal pattern that happens on a downtrend. So let me on my drawings and you see. So we call this a CRT pattern because what this means is that the previous candle range low has been swept. Our target is the previous candle range high. Do you get that, Emmanuel? Sorry, Benjamin. Previous candle range has been swept, giving us a candlestick hammer pattern. We have time frame. It means that if you pose yourself well, you can hold your buys to the candle range high. So let me on my drawing. From higher time frame buyers, we already have the buyers that is our higher time frame buyers for a what? For a day trader. So on a daily time frame, we saw that we have seen this, of course, that candlestick that we saw as a hammer, okay, was this candlestick, this candlestick. So the wick that was formed was this large candlestick. Then the remaining part of the wick into the body was this candle 1, 2, candle 3. So this whole candlestick from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what represented that one candlestick hammer on the weekly time frame. So on a daily time frame, we mark out our key levels. On our 4-hour time frame, we mark out also the key levels because we already know that price is reversing for a buy. Now, on 4 hours time frame, we now said, oh wow, we have a demand because there is a recent break of structure that has created the footprints in the form of a block. I said in the beginning that the big boys will always create footprints in form of gaps and blocks. Gaps will mean fair value gap. Block will mean other blocks, demand and supply. So the big boys will always and always and always create footprints by breaking structure, which we have here. And as we have broken structure, that break of structure will create footprint of gaps and blocks. So this is the block in 4 hours. So 1 hour time frame, we also expect. So we will use our idea of Asian range to know where and when to buy. So I said that it is more safe to buy below the liquidity. So Asian low is representing our liquidity for the day. Asian low, Asian high generates liquidity for the day. Write that down, everybody. Asian low, Asian high generates the liquidity for the day. Asian low, Asian high generates liquidity for the day. So for a good price action, an area of value for a buy. For an A plus setup, Asian low would have to be swept into a demand and order block for a buy. For a sell also, Asian high will have to be swept into a supply for a sell. But there are times that Asian low will swept for a buy. There are rare cases like that. Okay, when that happens, we could wait for a break of structure and a continuation. But for an A plus setup, we expect this Asian low to be swept into this demand and we buy for GU. So this is what we have for GU. Is GU clear? Our target, remember, is what? The supply and the candidate high for weekly. But our intraday target will be what? Will be just this target here. This New York high. For intraday target, we target this New York high. Intraday. But if you're going to have a swing trade, we're going to swing our position to candle range high on weekly. Candle range high on weekly or supply on. Ben, Benjamin, are you a new student? I think you are new. So are you a wiser trader or you are new? Did you join the basic class? All right. So okay, new year. Oh, cool. Nice. Let's welcome Ben to our meet. Everybody, welcome Ben, our new wiser trader. So do you understand what I just said? And are you getting value? Are you learning? Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Type in making sense. Is it making sense? Right, Ben is new. I want the feedback from the house. Is it making sense? Let's check out. Yeah, making sense. I love that. Let's check out. Yeah, can you hear me now? Am I audible? And can you see my screen? Yeah. Please signify if you can hear me and if you can see my screen. Let's call it, let's start wrapping up. We are already 1 hour, 15 minutes into our time. If you are getting value, please type in value, 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 value. If you are getting, type in value, value, value. If you can hear me, type in I can hear you. If you are getting value, please type in value. This is just a tip of an iceberg of what you get in our mentorship. All right. If you are not in the, so let me use this opportunity to make an announcement again. We are starting today by 7 p.m. our trading from scratch with ProFx. I call it a way to, we are trading from scratch, meaning we are building a solid foundation in our trading success. We have the strategy, the risk management, and technology. These three pillars, yes, strategy is not everything, but you can't underplay strategy. So you must build a solid foundation on these three pillars. This is what solidifies a foundation. So many traders don't have this solid foundational pillars. So we are having that session for 3 days on building solid foundation of our strategy. If each person can invite one person, we're going to have that number doubled. So if you enjoy what you are seeing here, you want to invite someone to come and enjoy it too. If you know someone that is interested, that has burnt his fingers, that has lost money, that has been